Hey guys. So, I've mentioned Esther Hicks on here a couple times recently because about a month ago, sometime very recently, like in the last month, I just happened to listen to a lecture of her, whatever, part of one of her workshops. One of the many clips that are out there on YouTube. It just shuffled on while I was uploading a video, which is the only time I just leave YouTube open with something random playing and shuffling on. So I listened to this video and I was really shocked because my experience of her from the past has been that she is just kind of, I don't know, I looked at her as being sort of an intro point for people that are interested in law of attraction. And so I was like, this is kind of elementary stuff. This is kind of, just she's putting it in a way that is appropriate for people who really don't see themselves as having any real experience, direct observable experience, whatever. I was like, this isn't for me, but I get it. It's nice. And this is probably a really good place for the average person to sort of start to get into it or something. That was just where I didn't think much about it. And then I listened to this lecture a month ago, and for whatever reason, it was on some part where she was speaking in a way, just talking about vibrations and whatever. It was phrased in a way that I was just listening to it in the background while I was doing something else. And I was like, this is not what she's talking about right now is not beginner level shit. She is speaking about something pretty advanced here. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I was just like, what she's saying is true. And I was like, oh my God, I need to listen to everything I can from her, because I'm realizing now that she sprinkles this stuff in with the beginner level, or not beginner, whatever, with the simple stuff, feel good to make good things happen, which is true and generally pretty good advice for people that aren't going to spend, if you can get that and nothing else, you'll change your life for the better. Feeling good is essentially, feeling the state of the wish fulfilled. Those two things are nearly identical. So, I don't know if you can do that and just take that and move on. She's improving a lot of people's lives just with that. But she also talks about some pretty advanced concepts that I would think probably a lot of people are just woo woo, and they don't even pay attention to it, which is probably exactly what I thought when I listened to it briefly. I don't know, she might not have even said anything. Anyway, the point is, about a month ago, I got really interested in what Esther Hicks was saying and what else they were talking about besides the very base level, how do I get what I want? The people in the hot seat are always like, how do I get a partner? Frequently, it's just stuff. It's how do I get a relationship? How do I get a job? How do I get whatever thing? So I was like, man, it would be really cool to see her in person. And right at that time, I'm like, oh, I should go to her website and see what her deal is. Where does she go? Is she still touring around? And of course, she's in Chicago 2 weeks later. So I was like, well, okay, I obviously need to attend this event. So I bought tickets for Matt and myself. And I think we were both kind of excited about going, I think, probably for different reasons. I really thought that I was just expecting this to be a totally profound experience. I thought I was going to get something major from this event, from Esther and the talking that was happening on the stage. That was what I expected. That did not happen. And I'm in no way knocking Esther, because she's awesome. It was cool just to even see her. She is just sort of, I don't know, she's just sort of a luminous person. But so, and if you're interested in going, go. What I took from this event was completely, I still got something major. I got a few major things from attending this event. They just weren't what I thought they were going to be. So we got there, and it's a general admission thing. Normally, I am 5'3", and I have never enjoyed going to concerts and things like that ever in my life until like 5 years ago or whatever. Whenever I could first afford and justify spending a lot of money on good seats for things. That was when I realized I love live music. I love going to comedy shows. I love all kinds of live events, as long as I can fucking see something. So I have not attended an event since, I don't know, probably 2018, where I didn't pay an arm and a leg to have like 4th, 5th, 3rd row seats, something like that, right in the center. Totally worth it. This was a general admission thing. So Matt and I got there, and we had no choice but to get seats pretty far back, like 2/3 of the way back. We were trying to figure out how many people were there. I'm guessing it was somewhere in the vicinity. It was like maybe 700 to 1,000. I don't know. There were a lot of people. I'm pretty sure there were like 30 rows of seats. Each row had at least 10, and I'm pretty sure it was 3 across. I don't know. There were a lot of people there. And by the time this thing started, the room was completely packed, and I could not see shit. Like, I could not see anything on the stage at all. I could not see her. They had 2 big, like, video screens. Couldn't see those, like, barely. I mean, I could like wrench my neck here and there, but then if the person in front of me moved an inch, you know, it was ridiculous, and the sound was terrible. So I couldn't, you know. And she's she's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Elocution? What's the word for, I don't know. She enunciates her words pretty well, but, you know, it's just like here and there, you just could not understand what the hell she said. It was ridiculous. But, the way these are set up is there's 3-hour-long sessions where she calls people up on the stage, and then they can ask whatever question they want. And so there's an hour, then a break for like 25 minutes, hour, then another break for 25 minutes, then the last hour. That's the whole workshop. About 15 minutes into it, I was like, we've got to leave. We got to get out of here. I don't know why. I was just like, we don't belong here. I don't know what it was. It just came over me. I was like, we got to leave. It didn't help that the first hour of this was just really bad. The 2 people that asked questions did not ask interesting questions, and she just kind of went off. Matt was like, this is gibberish. She just kind of started talking about stuff, and it didn't make a lot of sense. And to me, plus I could like not hear a bunch of it. It just was not at all. I was like, we got to go. I didn't say anything, but I'm like, oh God, we really need to leave. We really need to leave. And at first I thought it was because of that. I'm like, well, this really sucks. If I wanted to listen to Esther Hicks, I just go to the gym and use my headphones, you know? I don't want to sit, I can't see shit. Like, this is it. At first I was like, oh, I'm just pissy. But more and more as this hour wore on, I just kept feeling more and more, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And so when the first intermission, when it was time for that, we got up and we're walking out, and I was like, I will totally stay if you want to, no problem. But I've gotten what I need from this experience, and I'm ready to go if you want to go. And Matt was like, hell yeah, let's go. Which I was surprised, because he was kind of, excited to go to it too, although he's not really into that. So I was a little surprised that he was excited to go. But, so what I got from this, though, was huge. A couple things. The feeling of not belonging there became very clear to me. It became very clear to me what that was later. And it has a lot to do with, or I should say, what I need to do with that feeling became very clear to me, because I'm still not exactly sure why this is. I just realized, being in that room with all of those people, that in that setting, like in the audience, I just realized I need to not be around people when it comes to this topic. This is a topic that is that I need to be contemplating and dealing with in solitude. This isn't, and also I don't need to have a guru. I don't need to have a spiritual teacher. If at this point, if this is, you know, something I would want or need in the future, it's not right now. Like, this is a very personal thing for me right now. And over, I have been shown this over the last few years, over and over. Other people's input is a setback for me. It's a stumbling block. That's not even the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Why am I so word challenged today? It just confuses me in a way that I don't, you know, contemplating other people's experiences and input is not the thing I need to be doing right now. This channel that I'm making and whatever it is that I'm doing here and whatever this develops into, this is sharing my personal experience, and involving other people is this. I don't know why this just became crystal clear. This was like the straw that broke the camel's back yesterday. I need to silence other voices for the most part. That was one of the big takeaways. And when I realized that, it just grew and grew over the hour that we were there. And I was like, I know that I need to leave. And I know now that I need to essentially go into my own bubble. Matt doesn't bother me with this, you know. He has a very practical opinion about almost everything, and he's my partner for real life, garbagey, you know, world of Caesar, 3D, messy parts of human life. He's my partner for that, and he's great. And we don't discuss things like this very much. Things like this, things in the metaphysical realm, I guess. What would you call that? I don't know. Another stumbling over my words today, but he's good. I can have him around. He's around almost all the time. I don't need him to be away. But I really have to be very careful about who I talk to right now. I don't know why exactly, but that became very clear. And the other thing that became very clear, and I was not expecting this, nor did I know that I needed it, nor did I think that this wasn't already the case, but a few things that she said during that hour made me realize that, if you like the phrase vibrational match, made me realize that Matt and I are a total vibrational match. We are just, you know, we seem very, very different from each other. Like, our personalities are completely different. Like, he is a man of few words, and I'm the wordiest fucking person on the planet. You know, he's like this tall, like, just like Viking looking dude, who, you know, he's not, he's very like calculated in his actions, and I don't know, whereas I'm just like this little, like, you know, thing that's all over the place. Like, we are just really different from each other, and, you know, we kind of come from a different background, sorta, with some similarities though, you know. We just were kind of like raised in a different way, sorta, but while still, you know, having similar values, and we're just really different from each other. But through this event, I realized that we are so alike. I don't know, we're a match in so many ways that work. If you look below, like beneath the surface, we're not even like a bad match on paper. It's just weird. I just think of us as being very different, thanks to surface things, sorta. You know, we got to this thing, we got to this event, and Matt's like, you know, we're like walking, we got there, we checked in or whatever, and then there was like 35 minutes left, so we went outside so that Matt could smoke a cig. And he was like, everybody here looks like an off-duty flight attendant, including me, because I kind of had dressed that way. And I'm like, that's true. Like, I expected there to be like a bunch of freaks there. I was looking forward to it. I'm like, where are all the people with the like rainbow hair? Everybody there looked like an off-duty flight attendant. I was wearing white pants with like this sleeveless sort of like crepey, I don't know what the hell, probably polyester, but like some crepey black top that had like a little collar, you know, and like some, you know, sassy sandals and shit. And I was just like, this is like a middle-aged white woman, you know, New Age spirituality conference. Another reason probably I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And I just you know, he's like, yeah, that comment reminded me of my dad so much too. Everybody here looks like an off-duty flight attendant. That is totally something my dad would say. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I'm sure you're here right now. And we went back inside, and, you know, I was saying it was general admission, and everybody had like marked their seats with just like something, like their welcome materials or, you know, a jacket or something. That was how everybody saved their seats, and then they left to like go to the bar or whatever. So when we sat down, when we got in our seats, if we chose seats, there was a seat to our left and a seat to our right, and Matt's like, hey, put your wallet on the seat, or I don't know what he was like spreading out over seats. He's like, you know, let's put something over there so that nobody will sit there, nobody will sit next to us. And like this, you know, everybody's like high vibing, and everybody's, you know, like, getting off on the New Age spirituality high of the moment. And me and Matt are like, don't come near us. Like, just don't sit by us. Get away. And I was like, wow, we are really, you get me. I was just like, you get me. I don't want anybody sitting next to me. I don't want anyone coming near me. I don't want to feel anybody else's vibe. I just thought that was really funny. And then, as she was just kind of like going through, I don't know, the first guy that got up was this just like, it was really sweet, actually. It was really kind of nice. The first guy that got up there was just like worshiping Esther. He was just like, I was up all night. I couldn't sleep, you know, because I knew I was going to see you today. And he was talking about how he had started some sort of organization to help the homeless in Chicago. And, you know, I don't know. As we're like, she talked to this guy for like 45 minutes and just was kind of talking about general stuff. That was, honestly, I was really bored through the whole thing. And I just noticed Matt and I had like the exact same body posture. We were both like, like so uncomfortable. And she said something at some point about vibrational match. And that was when I thought, you know, I was just like, Matt and I are just like a perfect match. I don't know. I just realized that basically I was sitting next to my vibrational match, and that, you know, how weird it was, like, that we came together and everything. And just, I don't know. That was huge. It's not like I was having any issues with Matt even in my mind. And, you know, I made some videos here earlier this year about how we had kind of a rough year last year, but that's like totally behind us. Literally, that's been gone for that just like has stopped being a thing, and everything isn't quite gone back to like the way it was in the beginning. I remember not like all over each other every minute. I don't know if it's ever going to go back to that, and honestly, I'm kind of okay if it doesn't. But I don't know. I just had this really good feeling about Matt and me and us being the right thing for, you know, unless one of us wildly changes or needs to like really become something different, which is just, I think, sort of the way of the world, the way things work, and it's totally okay and nothing to be afraid of or upset about if and when it happens. But unless like one of us really has to morph into a wildly different person and the other one doesn't want to come along, like, this is good. I'm good. This person is the right person to have with me. So that was huge. So those are the two things that came out of that. I had it really clearly, weirdly, vibrationally reinforced for me that I'm with the right person. And it was also made really clear to me that I do not have any, I do not belong in any kind of mass New Age type of environment. Which is weird because there is a lot of mass New Age crap on YouTube. And so I have to kind of keep my energy out of that. I realize that, like, this has been a real problem for me, especially since I turned the comments back on here. So I deleted the YouTube Studio app from my phone, which is the way I was responding to all the comments, which is the way I was looking at stats and analytics, all of that stuff, I just decided, it became really clear, I need to not, my mental energy needs to not be there. It needs to be here, like with me, and not just going out in all directions at other people all the time. So, all of that to say, actually, I'm glad wasn't planning on even saying this here, but if you made it this far, don't ask me questions in the comments, or if you really want to communicate something to me personally and you want to make sure I read it, send it to nevillegoddess@gmail.com. I don't know how often I'm going to check that, but I don't know, unless I just can't help myself for some reason, I'm not going to put the YouTube Studio app back on my phone because I don't need it for anything. I upload the videos right through the YouTube app, and you know, if I need to do something on my computer, I can do it on my laptop. So I don't need to have that on my phone. I don't need to have that available. I already feel better since deleting that. I also deleted like everything else off my phone. I had other things. Reddit's been gone for forever, thank God. I deleted like all the games I've been playing and stuff. I just realized it's time for me to be present right now in the present moment, and that I've been wasting so much of my energy, again, it's like social media, socializing. And I just wanted to say, it's been really interesting having the comments back on, because it's been the same thing. It's been the same negative thing for me. Only this time I realize it is not because, and I kind of realized this before, it's not because the comments are bad. They never have been. The comments are actually great, and this is the issue. The people that are attracted to my channel and that comment are of high quality, and you guys have so many interesting things to say. And like, we're all kind of at this same, you know, I'm not a teacher and everybody watching this is a student. It's never been like that. This is like, we're all in the same, like, we're all going through the same shit. And for whatever reason, like, I can't read stuff from people that intelligent and that are also experiencing a similar thing. It's throwing me off. I don't know why. So yeah, it's because the comments are so good that this is like an attractive social media type of thing. This is like manifesting Facebook or something. And I have to get off of it because the social media aspect of all this is just really bad for me. It drains me of everything, and I barely have anything left to do anything. So the comments are staying on because everybody made it really clear that they want to have a way to say what they need to say, so go for it. I'm just probably not going to be reading them very often. I'll probably set aside a couple hours a month and go through all of them. So just email me at nevillegoddess@gmail.com if you have something you really want to say, or if there's something that you want me personally to address in a video. That I actually would really appreciate, because a lot of the time it gets me thinking in an area where I'm not thinking, and maybe I have something to say about it. So anyway, that's it. Have a great day. I hope that you have a happy Father's Day if you're a dude or whatever. Please don't take anything I said here as a deterrent from going to an Esther Hicks event. It may have gotten way better after I left. I would advise getting there like right when they start the registration so that you can get a seat in the front. I think it would have been a much better experience for me if I had actually been able to see anything. But yeah, you know, I mean, nothing is going to be a hit every single time. It really depends on the people that get up there to ask questions. If they ask something that you don't give a shit about, and or you don't, you know, her reply isn't that great, which sometimes it's not. Like some of the stuff she said yesterday, I don't know. I really didn't like her reply to the second guy that went up there. And when I say I didn't like it, I just didn't like the way she kind of treated him. She was sort of interrupting him, and she didn't quite understand what he was saying, which I thought was pretty obvious what he was asking, and then she didn't really understand what he was saying and answered something else, and he looked like a deer in headlights. And I just did not enjoy the experience personally. But you know, all of the videos that she has on YouTube, you know, these like 11-minute videos, 15-minute, you know, in that range, those are all from workshops. So the workshops are really, really good sometimes. And for all I know, the workshop was great after I left, but that was not the reason that I went there. I got exactly what I went there for. So yeah, that's it. Have a great day.